Jasmine, and thank you all for joining me and staying behind. I know we're trying to get home for the Super Bowl, some of us, so we're going to keep this short and sweet. Again, my name's Geva Davis. I'm super excited to be a part of this because this is actually my second viewing of the performance, and it is absolutely amazing. I'm sure you all will agree. I'm also a super Nina Simone fan, have been since middle school, so this is like totally surreal for me. I'm hoping one day to be able to play her, because I kind of feel like I kind of look like her. So I'm going to start by asking a question, with this being a play where activism truly meets artistic creation. How did that resonate with some of you? And I'm just gonna popcorn that question around. Anybody can raise their hands, and I'm gonna pick you out, and you just tell me, how did this play resonate with you, and with the bottom line, the background of being activism meets artistic creativity. Come on, don't be shy. Don't do. Yeah.
You know, what resonates with me is you have to use the weapon you have, right? And, you know, you can't try to fight with someone else's weapon. You know, you have to do, and I know some people don't like the word weapon, but the reality is sometimes we have to defend ourselves with the weapon that we have. And so I felt like Nina Simone was kind of caught in the middle of, well, we want you to use the weapon we want you to use, which is be on the front line, be marching. No, I want to use the weapon that I have, that I'm most powerful with, in service of my people. And so I thought that was powerful.
Same sentiments, where I say gifting, because we're all born with different gifts, is how we use them. So being a Nina Simone fan myself, I did four women's song with someone in a playwright that they did. And so just putting myself in her place, I'm not necessarily a person that's out in the forefront. I will encourage you from the back. I'm not the person to march on the front, but I will stand in the prayer line. But I never want to be pushed that I have to get to that point. But at any time, we should be willing to take a stand for what is right. And so for me, although she wanted to do it one way, she also had a spouse who was telling her different ways to do things too. So it also includes like your support team and who's telling you, but you have to be willing to stand firm in how you believe, meaning that whatever it takes for you may not take that for me, but still stand firm in unity. So that's where it resonated with me. And I just appreciated the fact that all of the women that were around her, their experiences were different, but in the end, they came together for a unified cause.
Thank you so much for coming. Thank you so much. Hello. Good. How are you? Great.
Ladies and gentlemen, BB.
Hello. Oh, look at that. It's only me today, sorry.
Oh, that's so cool.
Happy closing, everyone. Yeah, thank you. Need a black woman.
So we were popcorning around with the question regarding the play being artistic creativity and activism meeting in this play, and how it resonated with the audience and all that. So
I'd love to hear.
What is your take on that? What is and you're playing in the role in the play. So how did that feel to you to participate and be a part of that?
Yes.
This is actually my second go round as Sophronia. I did a production at Seattle Rep in 2019, and it was a completely different show. Actually, it was a completely different script, I would say. But there is something really special about doing period pieces in general. But also getting to do like pieces that are a reflection of your own history, which, you know, I flew my grandma out. My grandma's from Georgia. I flew her out. You know, I had to see her because she is Sophronia, you know? And I think activism, especially, well, stories like this now are what's going to shine the most right now.
Yeah.
It seems like how I feel is like this is crucial. This is a crucial time to be doing very intentional art, where everybody who has a heart for it can like absorb art that is more like a looking glass and challenges all to think, you know, or feel, you know, we may not like it, you know, and investigate, but we just have to get in touch with that part of ourselves, because I feel like that's the aspect of humanity that's kind of being diminished a little bit at this time.
Yeah.
And it also tested how people look at themselves as activists, because a lot of people feel that you have to be on the front lines and you have to be the ones taking the brunt of those rocks being thrown.
Right.
When in fact words are power.
Yes.
And oftentimes words can be stronger than any blow you can strike or give anyone. So this definitely spoke to Nina's fight and her struggle with that when it came to whether or not this song would be powerful enough and it would touch the hearts and minds of people to make them reflect on the fact that, listen, you're killing us and our blood is running in the streets. So that is a very powerful concept. By you, let me get my notes now.
All right, go ahead now.
So what drew you to this production, and what does Nina Simone's legacy mean to you personally?
What drew me to this production, you can't see her right now, but Garnet Williams, who played Nina Simone, she and I did a show together last summer called Cats, the Jellicle Ball.
I saw it twice.
You saw it?
I saw it
Come on, sis!
twice.
Wait, twice! Oh my God! Yes! So we were both in that. We played kind of like we played sisters in that, like sister cats, you know, but, and the woman who played Sophronia all the other weeks, she, her name is Sojourner. She had to leave early because she got booked on a Broadway gig. And immediately Garnet called me and was like, hey, so this is what's happening. I want you to be a part of this. So send me something of you singing, acting, and your resume. And I was like, okay. So I sent it out, and you know, going through rounds of auditions is hard for the actor. It's also very hard for casting directors and such. So they're like, any way I can avoid that, let me go ahead and bypass that. Is she good? Yeah, great. Let's get her in. So thank God that Garnet is the one who brought me to this production in particular. It was also helpful that I had done, immediately after Cats, I did a workshop that Kanita was in. So it was like I was acquainted there, and we were like, oh man, there was a connection, we feel a love. I was like, oh, I want to work with you. And then here, that's the way the Lord works.
Yeah.
Cats was phenomenal. I hope they bring it back.
Oh my gosh, I'm so glad you came.
Yes, I loved it. So the characters in For Women, they each represent different aspects of Black women and the struggles that we go through as Black women.
Yes.
Even towards the end of the play, I kind of saw the reference of dealing with the sisterhood between cis Black women and trans Black women.
Yes.
And getting that message of she's your sister.
Yes.
She's your sister.
Yes.
And
treat her that way.
Treat her that way. When you see a Black woman, bow your head.
Yes.
And that means a lot, because as Black women, we have to take up a mantle that's very heavy. And it can be very lonely. Carrying such a mantle, because we carry the weight of the world on our shoulders.
Right.
And to see that in the play, it kind of tied everything together between the characters. Now, how did you in particular prepare for that role, and what challenges did you face to embody that type of role?
That's really great questions. Man, I wish the other women could also answer. So both of my parents, so my husband, he makes fun of me for this, but because I've had a spiel that I give to a lot of people, because I present multiracial, but I'm monoracial, I'm multi-ethnic, but both of my parents are Black, all 4 of my grandparents are Black, all 8 of my great-grandparents are Black, but so he makes fun of me because I have given that spiel to so many people. They were Negroes, but again, that one drop rule that Sweet Thing was talking about, that still gets us in our mentalities today. A lot of people, it's widespread, it's universal. So there is an experience that I have in being multiracial presenting that was I didn't have to try too hard for Sophronia. I think like a lot of people in our diaspora can identify with multiple people, whether even if you don't, even if you aren't light, if you talk a certain way, if you talk proper, you were treated a certain way, or if your family was from the islands or from Africa, you were probably treated in a different way, so that aspect of Sophronia, like the kind of petition to be like, I'm Black, I'm for you, I'm Black, I'm with you, I'm here, we're the same kind, cut from the same cloth, is very familiar to me.
Always trying to prove yourself.
Always having to prove yourself, right. And I think it has to do with the trauma of people who were closer to whiteness in whatever way, whether it be in behavior, whether it be in physical appearance, whether it be in heart, sometimes really hurt, or the cause of hurt in our own community.
Yeah.
And so, there is a history, even within ourselves, of us owning each other, so there is a specific defense mechanism that I understand. That you have to try and disarm to be like, I'm with us, because not everybody, what they say, not all skin folks, kin folk.
That's the truth.
Yeah, baby. Y'all probably got that in November. There's that. I also did, I've been reading Frederick Douglass's biography, and in it, there was this. He talked about a new race forming. He was kind of he was a mixed race as well, right? Mm-hmm. So his father was white, and he talked about the emergence of a new race of people, which happened from across America, European slave owners integrating mostly by force, if not all by force.
Yeah.
With their African servants, and then their children would become slaves. Right. But that's the slave of the master. That's the master's son and also slave. So it created this new dynamic of people that was in America, very special to America, I would say. And the other Americans, yes, where they experienced that, where there's mixed race people, but it was a new thing that was bred out of the enslavement of Africans by Europeans. So I thought that was really good to get into the research of specifically the plight of the mulatto, right? Mm-hmm. You have an aspect of you, half of there's fun and scary things to play with I'm for you, but also I'm a little bit ashamed. Mm-hmm. And then there's this other aspect of me that I'm ashamed of and that I don't like, but it gives me a little bit of power. Right. So that dichotomy within people who are of mixed race, especially at that time, there's some writings about it, and I was searching for that, because that's kind of where the juice lies. And if there's anybody who's a bit of a villain, it might be Sophronia, but she's not really supposed to be. But she can't. I play it a lot with, after she says the sweet thing about, my skin color, I've always been better than you, not better, we've always been different or whatever. With the shame afterwards of fixing myself to say that. just to hurt her, but it had to live in there somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
So, also speaking to what you were saying earlier about activism and the many angles you could hit it, I think of racism as starting in the heart.
Yeah.
It started in the head, like as an idea that then infected the heart, and people are like, oh yeah, no, I believe that too, I believe that too, I believe that too. So we can hit the systems as much as we want to, but the systems are a byproduct. It all narrows down to the human heart. And so, like, there's many ways to affect that. And I think that's kind of what I'm aiming for, because we have to get to the root.
Well, I wish this could go on a lot longer than just the 20 minutes that we're allotted. But I really want everyone to take away from this the words that Nina Simone spoke, which was, an artist's duty is to reflect the times in which we live. And also, whatever you knew about Nina Simone, you don't have to answer it now, but just look inside yourself and see how this play has changed a little bit as to how you see Nina and what Nina had to go through, and her activism and her artistic integrity, and how her legacy and her greatness was birthed from that tragedy, from that heartache and that pain. So again, my name is Oprah Winfrey. Giovanna Davis, and thank you all for joining me. Thank you, BB, for being Fiona and doing an amazing job. Thank you, Geva Theatre, and thank you all for giving me this moment to sit alongside you.
Oh, bless you. Bless you.
God bless you all.
Happy Black History Month.